Hi, this is Nick Forster. This week in eTown, we're going to revisit one of our favorite shows, and it starts right now.
From eTown Hall in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, it's eTown with this week's guests from Amsterdam, singer-songwriter Jana Mila, Native American lawyer and advocate Allison Neswood, and from Tennessee, Darrell Scott. I'm Helen Forster. Right now, join me in welcoming our host, Nick Forster.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Helen. Welcome to eTown Hall. We have a great combination of visitors to eTown this week. They represent a pretty broad geographic variety, too. They're coming from Amsterdam, from the Navajo Nation, and Nashville, right in the middle. And like all of us, all our guests this week are trying to do the best they can to figure out what's going on in this particular moment in time and looking at it through the lens of their skills and their interests. Allison Neswood is here. She grew up in the Navajo Nation, went on to get an Ivy League law degree, and then actually dedicated her life's work to helping to improve the lives of her fellow Native Americans, including working on issues like healthcare and voting rights. She is here and is going to join us in a little while. Jana Mila is here. She grew up in Amsterdam. She started playing local shows, singing original songs, and then she went to Nashville and met some people and did some recording, and her first record is just coming out. So she's just getting started. And Darrell Scott, he has been a seeker all his life. He's already done a lot. He's written a bunch of hit songs. He's recorded lots of records. He was Robert Plant's band leader in the Band of Joy. He's performed and recorded with people like Steve Earle and Guy Clark and Emmylou Harris and countless others. He lives in Tennessee, but he's been there for quite a long time. But he's lived in a lot of other places too. He went to college in Boston. All of that makes him a gifted songwriter and a singer, and he's a great player too. We're always happy to have him join us, one of our favorites. Please welcome back to eTown, Darrell Scott.
Thank you so much. Here's a Paul Simon song. Many's a time I've been mistaken, and many a time confused. Yes, and I've often felt forsaken, and certainly misused. But I'm all right, I'm all right. I'm just weary to my bones. Still, you don't expect to be bright and born before so far away from home, so far away from home. And I don't know a soul who's not been battered. No, I don't have a friend who feels at ease. I don't know a dream that's not been shattered and driven to its knees. But it's all right. We've lived so well so long. Still, when I think of the road we're traveling on, I wonder what's gone wrong. I can't help it. I wonder what's gone wrong. And I dreamed I was dying. I dreamed that my soul rose unexpectedly, looking back down at me, smiled reassuringly. And I dreamed I was flying, and high up above my eyes could clearly see the Statue of Liberty sailing away to sea. Bye-bye. And I dreamed I was flying. And we come on a ship they call the Mayflower. We come on a ship that sails the moon. We come in the age's most uncertain hour, and we sing an American tune. But it's all right, it's all right. We can't be forever blessed. And still tomorrow's gonna be another working day, and I'm trying to get some rest. That's all I'm trying, to get some rest. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Darrell Scott, good to see you. Welcome back to eTown.
Thank you, Nick. It's been 5 years since I was last here, but I'm so happy to be back here.
Yeah, well, it's cool to hear you sing and play. No one does it like you do. And it's so funny that I know that Paul Simon's American Tune has been something that's been a song you've embraced for a couple of decades. And it seems so timely.
Here's the thing about a great song. They're timeless.
Yeah.
And Paul Simon has written more than his share of great and timeless songs. Let's admit that. But this American Tune is just, it could have been in 1865, it could have been in 1945, it could have been the Vietnam War time, it could have been last week or 10 years from now. That's what a great song does.
I want to just mention you've written your share of great songs, and many of which have been recorded by lots and lots of people.
Yeah, I've been very lucky with that.
Yeah, I think it's luck, maybe. A combination of luck and skill and hard work. But one of the funny side effects, I guess, of being a great songwriter is that, like your kids, you kind of write a song and you send it out in the world and it has a life of its own.
Songwriting is largely an isolated thing.
Yeah.
So it's a person in a room, maybe two people. You're doing whatever you do in that work, and then it has the possibilities to go out there into the world or in a show or at a writer's round or have famous people recorded in some of the cases for me. And it has a life of its own. It is not me pulling the strings. I did what I could do back in that isolated room, and then it has its own everything from that point forward.
Have any of your songs out in the world really disappointed you?
Very few times, but it has happened, yeah. I had one person, I'm not going to name names, but this person had done my song, and when he met me, he apologized. Like that was the first words out of his mouth, that I guess it was some production thing that messed it up for him, but he was not proud of his recording.
I did see that one of your most loved songs, It's a Great Day to Be Alive, has been embraced by the Clemson University football team as their sort of anthem.
Yeah, I saw that too when they beat somebody, was it Notre Dame, I do believe. The coach was singing it in the locker room and they were singing it back to him. So there's an example How could I have orchestrated that? I
Yeah.
simply could not have.
No, your song as an anthem in a football game. It's surprising.
That same song, It's a Great Day to Be Alive, was on the space station. So it's been out of this world,
Wow. Well, I mean, you've been doing this a long time. I imagine you first started playing music for an audience when you were a teenager.
It was even earlier because I came from a family band. We grew up in church, so I was playing churches at 6 and 7.
And you were playing guitar at that time? Where were you playing?
You know what? I was playing bass.
Bass, okay.
Yeah, bass was my first instrument.
It's good to choose the biggest one for the littlest kid.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had an older brother who was a great guitarist. And so the guitar chair in the family band was taken. And that meant I was the bass player.
Yeah.
But I loved having bass as my first instrument. I know the root
Yeah.
and passing chords. That kind of stuff was a really good foundation for me.
That's so cool. And you've been writing and recording and playing and touring ever since. And you and I have talked about this before, but the universe around us has changed to the point where the music business is not what it used to be, but we still do what we do.
We do what we do, and I'm thinking back to the 5 years ago that I was last year. Since then, I've put out 3 records. I put out Darrell Scott Sings the Blues of Hank Williams.
Right.
We're going to do a Hank song later in the set. I did a record called Horoso down in Horoso, Colorado, a live recording, almost field recording. And then last year, recorded right here at eTown Studio, my band, the Darrell Scott String Band. It's basically bluegrass, I just didn't call it that. And that record came out last summer,
Yeah.
so that's what I've been up to.
Yeah, no, you've been incredibly productive. And somebody sent me a video from a show you played in Paonia, Colorado. And that part has not changed. Being in front of an audience, singing your own original songs and others in a way that only you can do is just great, Darrell.
Oh,
it's
thank
always
you,
great
Nick.
to hear you play and sing.
Thank you, my friend.
Let's do some more. Let's get back to music. Welcome back, if you would, Darrell Scott.
Well, I walk myself to Grady's, just like I often do, where the beer is 50 cents a glass, and the jukebox free till noon. And I always play Hank Williams, just like my daddy did, where it's laid out on the table, and the meaning never hid. Take me down to Shelbyville if I could hustle up the fare. I hear there's work with horses and my brother's living there. And we'll go out for the evening, but his wife won't let me stay. He'll do just what she asks him. He's always been that way. Baptist church, yeah, I think it's Wednesday night, and get another pamphlet about the darkness and the light. Maybe I will walk the aisle. I don't do it for the show. No, when I hear the altar calling, boys, I know it's time to go. I'm old and near forgotten, save the neighbor with the meals. Death lays waiting in the shadows, and that's the way he deals. But I close my eyes and kiss her, and she's close enough to feel. We're driving to Montgomery, one hand upon the wheel.
Darrell Scott, along with the eTones, Adam Bodine, Eric Toreen, Mark Rains, Helen Forrester singing harmony. Darrell's going to be back later in the show. Play some more music.
Your visit to eTown is made possible in part by the Bohemian Foundation, building stronger communities through the bohemian qualities of creativity and imagination. On the web at bohemianfoundation.org. You're listening to eTown.
I'm Nick Forster. You are listening to eTown. We've got more music from Darrell Scott coming up in a little while, and wonderful singer from Amsterdam is here. Jana Mila is here with a couple of guys from her band. That's all coming up. I mentioned earlier that Allison Neswood is here. She grew up in the Navajo Nation, and unlike the vast majority of her school classmates, she not only went to college, but she went to Yale undergrad and Columbia Law School, and she now works with the Native American Rights Fund to advocate and fight to improve the lives of Native Americans in a variety of ways. She's tireless in her efforts, particularly around healthcare and more recently voting rights. So we all owe a debt to those who were here first. She's doing something about it. Please welcome to eTown, Allison Neswood. Welcome, Allison. Do you mind if we start with a little background? I mentioned that you grew up in the Navajo Nation. Maybe you could help people understand what that means.
Sure. My reservation is in the Southwest, so largely in Arizona, some in New Mexico, and then also in southern Utah. And really vibrant land, lots of mesas, red earth, sagebrush. And it came with a lot of challenges, poverty, issues that go along with poverty. But also, when I think about the reservation in my life there as a kid, it's a time and a place that I still really yearn for.
Do you have a lot of siblings?
I have 2 younger brothers.
Okay. Were they annoying younger brothers?
No,
Not
actually.
too bad, no.
They were much younger than I am.
Oh, okay.
My first brother was born when I was 13,
Okay.
and he was the best thing that ever happened to me. I think I was lonely, and he gave me just a lot of life, and I loved taking care of him. And
That's cool. And I mentioned that you were not typical. And I imagine that someone like you with your background, going to Ivy League schools and coming out with a law degree, you must have been heavily recruited by the biggest law firms in the country and offered big, giant paychecks and stuff like that, I suspect.
I felt coming out of school like I had some good opportunities. And I was really grateful for what that afforded.
But you decided to focus your time and energies with the Native American Rights Fund and really give back in ways that made sense to you.
The reason I went to law school was to give back to my community. So it was the right fit. I did public interest policy work before starting at NARF, and then was really grateful to be able to make the switch to work more directly for Native people and Native rights.
And let's just mention NARF, Native American Rights Fund, is a nonprofit. It's basically a law firm that works on behalf of Native American issues. It's been around a while.
NARF was founded in 1970. The founders, including John Echohawk, who's still our executive director, around that time it was the civil rights movement, and they saw that the African American community had lawyers, like at the NAACP, and they wanted to create NARF to be sort of the same thing for Native people.
And you found when you entered that arena and you started advocating, you started on healthcare and voting rights.
Well, I did healthcare before NARF.
Oh, before NARF, okay.
And then when I moved to NARF is when I really started focusing on Native American voting rights.
Yeah. And so Native American voting rights, I think it's important for people to understand, those voting rights didn't exist until middle of the 20th century, right?
100 years ago this month, Congress declared that Native Americans were citizens with the Indian Citizenship Act. But decades after that, states were still saying that Native Americans were incompetent to vote, or they could only vote if they completely disclaimed their tribal identity. And so the last state laws that provided those type of exclusions lasted all the way into the 1940s and 1950s. And then even after that, states used literacy tests and other mechanisms like that to continue to deny people the right to vote. So Native people really didn't have a meaningful way to enforce their voting rights until the Voting Rights Act passed in 1965 and amendments were passed in 1975. So a lot of our, seniors in our community remember the time when they were pushed away and excluded.
And it's happening again, as I understand it, in Arizona, which is one of the homes of the alleged voter fraud, that they are trying to remove ballot boxes and take access to voting away from particularly Native people.
Yeah. I mean, and that's really why NARF does voting rights work for Native Americans, is because as citizens, as Americans, our power partially comes from our ability to vote and to hold our elected leaders accountable. And Native Americans deserve that, right? Elected leaders are affecting our rights and our well-being every day in our communities, whether we live on reservation or off. And so we deserve to have a say. We deserve representation that understands us to be their constituents and that understands our needs and our priorities and values. And so that's really why NARF focuses on voting rights, even with all our other priorities around tribal sovereignty and water rights and land rights and all of the other things that we do in partnership with tribal nations.
Well, it's impressive that there is an organization like NARF. It's impressive that you chose to work there and focus on these issues of basically helping Native populations not continue to be disenfranchised and denied their access to participate in democracy. And if people want to learn more, what's the easiest way to figure out?
NARF broadly, just narf.org. For our
NAR.
voting rights work, vote.narf.org.
Cool. Well, Allison, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for the work you're doing. Congratulations. Good luck. I know it's a struggle, but I know you're going to be good at it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much. Allison Neswood from NARF, the Native American Rights Fund. You can find more at narf.org. Darrell Scott will be back to play some more music later on. For those of you just joining us, you're listening to eTown. Let me tell you about what's coming up. Jana Mila grew up in Amsterdam in a family that had wide musical tastes. Her mother sings Brazilian songs. Her father plays saxophone in big bands. Her brother studies Indian music. She began writing songs and performing both originals and covers all over the place in her native Netherlands. And then her performance and her singing and her songs caught the attention of a friend who encouraged her to go to Nashville. And she did that. She met some folks. One of the people she met was a guy named Todd Lombardo, who ended up recording the songs that make up her debut album, which just is coming out now. And we're excited. She's a wonderful singer and songwriter, and we're just meeting her. She's just getting started. Please help me welcome, for her first visit to eTown, Jana Mila.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. Major thanks to Nick and Helen for having me, and I'm excited to play for you all. This song I wrote when I was 16. Rosie left the back door open yesterday. She didn't even leave a note before she took the train. The neighbor said they saw a girl crying in the street. Rosie left a trail of tears for everyone to see. Sorry, little Rose, we should have helped you long ago. Should have listened when you said you felt like you didn't belong. But now Mother has been staring all night at the kitchen floor. Her father hasn't said a word since you have been gone. Sweet Rose, when do you get back home? You left your footprints on footprints on our soul. Sweet rose, you didn't have to go away. Oh, your loneliness, it made you blind to see who wanted you to stay. And we just hope you find some answers on the road. And if you do, we hope one day you'll let us know. And we hope that your journey's going well, and that you finally find some company in yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
These are the eTones. Big round of applause for the eTones. Thank you guys for playing with me. And if I didn't introduce them yet, this is Gerben van der Molen, or Jerry, I say in English, easier, and Matthijs van Duivenbode, but I call him Dove. As you know, in Amsterdam we like partying, but I get into arguments a lot when I'm at a party. It just happens. And that's what this song is about. Damn it, now you're just another reason to feel blue. Did you even know I was just as upset as you when I left you in the dark side of the room? And I was hoping you would ask so I could get confused and worried about the answers. Oh, it's not about the truth though, but it's getting late and the party's over soon. Oh, it's getting late and the party's over soon. I wasn't gonna cry, I wasn't gonna scream, I wasn't gonna fight, I wasn't gonna make a scene. And I'm sorry if you're bruised, 'cause I'm messing with your pride, but it's all because you're running from the rough men in the skies.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Jana, welcome, Mila. Jana Mila. This is your first tour in the U.S., like going to all the
Yes.
different places.
Yes.
And I know you were in Nashville before, but you're getting a chance to see how big this place is.
It's huge.
Lots of
Yeah.
traveling.
Well, in Holland, if you travel for 2 hours, you see the whole country.
Right.
You sleep in your own bed. And I think I haven't been in a plane as much ever in my life as I've been here. But it also means I get to see a lot of this country. And I don't think a lot of people my age get to do that through their music. So that is wonderful.
I mentioned some of the musical background of your family, and your mother singing Brazilian music, and your brother studying Indian music, and your dad playing jazz. And so where did you find your spot in the midst of all that?
Well, it's funny because my family is very musical, but that was kind of the thing that made me want to rebel against it. So for a long time, I felt like, no, I don't want to do music. They're all doing music. That's boring. No, I want to. And then I started saying, like, I want to study history. And my mom kept saying, but you're writing songs every day. So what are you talking about? Why do you not want to study music? And then after a while, I felt like, okay, this is probably something I should do because I'm doing it already.
But who are you listening to?
Joni Mitchell, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Simon and Garfunkel, James Taylor, Fleetwood Mac. Like, there's a very long list.
Yeah. And when you first got to Nashville, was it sort of what you expected? Nashville's a sort of at least 3 cities in one. It's certainly a tourist trap, Lower Broadway, bachelorette party capital of the world. But it's also, you know, hub of the wheel in the music business. And it's also just a southern city with a lot of urban sprawl.
I get what you're saying, like, because I went downtown. And then I was kind of like, whoa, this is like cowboy Disneyland. I even went line dancing. But I felt like, okay, because it wasn't yet my style. It was a bit too much cowboy-ish.
Yeah.
So that was the beginning. And then I met a lot of songwriters there. And that's where I got really inspired. Because these people, they are so fast and so good at writing songs. And I felt like they understood me very quickly. And they were all into the lyrics. And they all listened to what I wanted to write about. And I didn't yet find those people in Holland a lot yet.
Did you co-write with any songwriters in Nashville?
Yes, I actually wrote with Jake Etheridge. And of course, Todd Lombardo, who is the producer of the album.
Had you ever done that before, written with somebody else?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
I was even writing with 5 people in total. And that was kind of the point where I started shutting off a bit because it's easier when you're on your own. You can just go on your bike and just think of more lyrics, and then you take a shower and then you think of even more lyrics. But writing with a lot of people, you're kind of like, oh, wow, everything is very fast. I have to do it quickly.
Yeah. I read where you've described your process of writing and making music as a conversation with yourself that happens internally. So you can imagine that doesn't work very well when there's a bunch of other voices in the room.
No, but we can have conversations with each other.
Yeah.
And then I get to know myself even better. Like, it could be sort of therapy session with everyone in the room.
Yeah.
But you have to feel comfortable with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other big surprises on your adventures through America so far?
Vegas. And I know I like parties, but I wasn't expecting that when I went to Vegas. And I was in Vegas for 2 days. I was overwhelmed. So that was the biggest surprise for me.
I should mention that your record is out on New West, which is a great label. So that's a lucky happenstance for you to have your first record get signed to a great label. You got a team behind you.
Yeah.
It's cool. It must feel really great to be sort of have your creativity validated in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel very lucky because the album was already finished when they decided to work with me. And I was never expecting that it would go so fast because John Allen heard my record, and then 2 weeks later, he was on the couch in Nashville and I was playing guitar for him. He's the director of New West. And it all went very quickly. I heard a couple of weeks they wanted to sign me, and now I'm here.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's wonderful to be right at the front end of somebody's career. You know, it's exciting just to hear those songs for the first time and to hear you sing. It sounds great. So we're happy to be a part of this journey for you, and we got a lot more music to get to.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, welcome back, if you would, along with her friends from Amsterdam, Jana Mila.
Thank you. Somebody new.
We chose a dirty pavement at the parking lot. You wore your leather jacket, made you look so tough, and you hoped I knew something's growing bitterness inside of you. We spent an hour drinking in the burning sun. You had your words already like a loaded gun, and you got me to listen to the bitterness inside of you. You said if you've been longing for somebody new, oh well, 'cause lately I've been thinking that you do. Somebody stole your bike, I had to bring you home. You'd rather skip the night than face it on your own. You couldn't hide everything that you've been dragging in your mind. You said if you've been longing for somebody new, oh well, 'cause lately I've been thinking that you do. Lately I I know you took off early, left the sheets undone, your eyes all red and blurry with your headphones on. I guess it's true, I've been growing bitterness inside of you. You said if you've been longing for somebody new, oh well, 'cause lately I've been thinking that you do. You said if you've been longing for somebody new, oh well, 'cause lately I've been thinking that you do.
Thank you so much.
Jana Mila from Amsterdam,
Thank you.
along with Matthias van Davenbode. And on the other guitar, Herben van der Moren. Along with the eTones, Adam Bodine, Eric Tureen, Mark Rains, Jana Mila. You can hear more about her.
Your visit to eTown is made possible in part by the Scientific and Cultural Facilities District, or SCFD, one of the largest cultural funding mechanisms in the United States, supporting nearly 300 organizations in the greater Denver, Colorado area. Hey, by the way, I want to take this opportunity to remind you that for your viewing pleasure, there are over 2,000 videos on the eTown YouTube channel, where you can also subscribe in order to stay up to date with our past and present video offerings. You're listening to eTown.
I'm Nick Forster. I'd like to say hello to our listeners who are hearing eTown right now on stations like WOUB 91.3 FM in Athens, Ohio, on KSMF 89.1 FM in Ashland, Oregon. Thanks for listening. And on WRUR, The Root in Rochester, New York. Thanks for tuning in. As always, if you want some more information about any of our guests this week, you want to find out how to get tickets to live shows, get some eTown merch, or find out how to get in touch with the Native American Rights Fund, all of that stuff you can do at eTown.org. You can also check out, as Helen mentioned, some of our few thousand videos that we have on our YouTube channel. Lots of really good stuff to dive into. I know that what we do is unusual. Our combination of ingredients is atypical. There's music shows, there's talk shows, and when we started 33 years ago, a lot of people said, would you just make up your mind? And it's like, yeah, we kind of like the combo. Loved hearing Jana Mila, brand new Dutch artists with a brand new record. That was really cool. I've mentioned on this stage before that some of my ancestors were, in fact, Dutch and English, and they came over in the early 1600s. Many of them had leadership roles, founding fathers, first governors of Massachusetts and New Amsterdam and Rhode Island and other places, and then they continued in high office in Congress and other things. Every single one of them benefited from taking advantage of the people who lived here first. All of my ancestors did benefit from that. In fact, when I lived in the place I lived before I moved to Colorado almost 50 years ago, it was land that had been given to my family by the King of England, not having ever seen it. He just said, here's a huge tract of land. And the land has never been sold since then, but it also had never been owned before then. And I say that only because of my conversation with Allison before. So paying attention to the native folks and finding out if there are ways we can make a difference on their behalf is a cool thing. Right now, would you help me welcome back one of our great friends, great musician, singer-songwriter, Darrell Scott.
So here's a song where we recorded downstairs here at eTown with my string band. And this is a song that we had on that record. We're going to get Helen to join us out here on vocals. Nick's going to be on that electric guitar and the eTown band. And to do this song for you called The World Is Too Much With Me. And I may ask you to sing along at the end. Beware. Out of touch and out of time and out of reach and out of line in this world, but in the dark, patiently waiting for a spark. From the cradle to the grave, we stand in line. Please and behave. Feel the truth, but keep it hid under radar, under lid. So I bring my best, and I brave the cold, lift from my heart till it all me is old. I dream in sleep, but it's gone at wake. The world comes in to take and take and take. Fit to work, not fit to change, not fit to fit or rearrange. Underwhelmed, underachieved, under the gun, but still can't leave. So let's stay the course and let's wait it out. This too shall pass. There is no doubt, but no such tricks will work today. It's Ship of Fools, Inauguration Day. Oh, the world is too much with me. The world too much with me. Too much today. Oh, the world is too much with me. The world is too much with me. Too much today. Too much, too much, too much, too much, yeah. The world is too much with me. The world is too much with me. Too much today. Too much for me today. Sing along now, come on. The world is too much with me. The world is too much with me. Too much today. This is a song that I learned from the Hank Williams catalog right here. Like a floppy mule that ain't got no sense. I've been a fool about you for way too long. I've been a fool about you. Now I'm gonna get gone. Well, we fuss and we fight like a dog and a cat. I'll tell you right now, I've had enough of that. I've been a fool about you for way too long. I've been a fool about you. Now I'm gonna get gone. Get gone now. Said I would leave if you didn't change. Well, baby, it's time for me to rearrange. I've been a fool about you for way too long. I've been a fool about you. Now I'm gonna get gone with that baritone guitar. same old bull. I tell you right now, well, my bucket's about full. I've been a fool about you for way too long. I don't think Hank done it this way. Fool about you. Now I'm gonna get gone. One more time now, everybody. Been a fool about you. Now I'm gonna get gone.
That's Darrell Scott. Along with eTone's Mark Raines on the drums, Eric Turina on the bass, Adam Bodine on the keys. Helen was singing backup earlier. So strong, so good. We have time for one more song. We're going to get everybody out on stage for one more number. I want to thank all our guests this week. Special thanks to Darrell Scott for coming all the way from Tennessee. Thanks to the eTones, to Helen Forster. Thanks to Allison Neswood from the Native American Rights Fund, doing good work on behalf of that community and us as well. Thanks to Jana Mila coming all the way from Amsterdam, along with her friends and bandmates, Jerry and Dove. We started with a Paul Simon song, and we're going to end with one as well. I'm Nick Forster. Hope you can be with us next week right here in eTown.
Just a poor boy, though my story is seldom told. I have squandered my resistance for a pocket full of mumbles, such a promises. All lies and jest, still a man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. When I left my home and my family, I was no more than a boy in the company of strangers, in the quiet of the railway station, running scared, laying low, seeking out the poor quarters where the ragged people go, looking for the places only they would know.
Asking only workman's wages. I come looking for a job, but I get no offers. No, just to come on from the horizon 7th Avenue. I do declare there were times when I was so lonesome I took some comfort there. Wishing I was gone, going home, where the New York City winters are and bleeding me, going home. In the clearing
stands a boxer and a fighter by his trade, and he carries the reminders of every blow that laid him down or cut him till he cried out in his anger and his shame, I am leaving, but the fighter still remains.
Yes, the fighter still remains. Help us sing it now, come on.
This is a production of eTown.